came across glassblowing at the first time when I was about 12 years old. I was visiting Skagen on holiday, and up there was a glassblower working. At that time the studio glass movement has just begun, the meaning that the blowing glass was taken out of the factory and small studios were popping up different places in the country. I sort of had a natural interest for things like glassblowing. My family is fairly creative. Most of my families are musicians, or my grandmother is a ceramicist, so I think I've always been looking for something creative like that to do. Anyway, it looked very interesting, glassblowing, and I had opportunity later on to be a practicant. It's a system that works in the Danish school system where you're at the age about 12 or 13. You have a week where you go and work out in the real world. And I turned out working in Skagen at this particular glassblower for 2 weeks, I think. And I believe that ever since then I had sort of been clear to me that I wanted to be a glassblower. The Echo Style Award shoe is very much a collaboration between the Echo and my ideas, and also what is actually possible to do in glass. We made different attempts, but we turned out with a shoe that looks very much like a shoe. It's as close as we can get in glass to a real shoe, but it has a lot of elements from my work, sort of the filigrano techniques and the patterns that I use in my own work I've also used in this shoe. So it has a lot of details that is showing the qualities of glass. I believe that my style is very much influenced or is the way it is because I am from Scandinavia, and the thing about simplicity is something that I feel that I'm attracted to, and I'm always amazed how much respect Scandinavian design has in the world. When I have shows in the States, the fact that I am from Scandinavia is a great advantage. Scandinavian design is well known through the world, and I'm pleased that there were people before me that created this for Denmark and for Scandinavia. I started blowing glass as a real job when I was 17 years old. I got an apprenticeship contract at the only Danish glass factory there is, the Holmegaard glass factory. And I moved from Aalborg, where I was born, to Odense to work in the factory that they had there at that time. So that was really a craftsman practice. It's not necessarily a fun job, but it's a job, and you get a lot of experience working with glass. You are working a lot every day, and it was a good beginning for me. We decided to work in Ebeltoft almost by chance. We were, at a couple of years, we were working at the Glass Museum in Ebeltoft, and we suddenly saw this house coming for sale in Ebeltoft and thought it would be nice to work here. Ebeltoft has been sort of the glass center of Denmark. We had at one point 7 studios here, together with the Glass Museum, which is a nice window to the international glass scene. So it's, in that perspective, a nice place to be. I intend to get a lot of inspiration from ceramicists in particular. I think there's a very nice tradition in Denmark for ceramicists, and there's a whole generation, an older generation than me, that I'm very impressed with. People like Jane Rømert, for instance, Bente Hansen, Skyttegård, are very interesting for me to look at. Of course, we have the gallery in Ebeltoft where we are doing smaller productions, but my main work, which is the more unique work and installation work, is all going to galleries that I work with in the States, mostly. I have a gallery in the New York City, the Heller Gallery, and I also have a gallery in Seattle, the Traver Gallery that I'm working with. There's a gallery in Aspen, the Pismo Gallery, and then I've started working lately with Adrian Sassoon in London. So that's basically where my work is shown. I usually have a couple of shows with them every year, and then there are different trade fair shows that they take me to, like the Sofa Show in Chicago and New York. Coming up is a solo show in New York at the Heller Gallery. The Heller Gallery is a famous glass gallery, and this is going to be my first solo show there. I've worked with them for several years now, but we never did a solo show, and that's coming in April. I also, together with my wife, has a show at the Glass Museum in Ebeltoft, which also is very challenging for us. It's a lot of work we'll have to come up with for that. And actually, the show seems to be coming sort of faster than I can do them basically these years. So we have a lot of work to do.